We have Buccaneers football on our screens tonight. Wow, I cannot believe it. We got Buccaneers Jets preseason week 1. Today's show is presented by PrizePicks. My name is Reed Barkus. Wherever you're watching, whenever you're watching, hope you're having a great day today. Whether you're watching right before the game is about to start or right when we post this because you're a real one and you have your notifications on, we got Bucs football, baby. I'm excited. If you're excited as well, make sure to hit the like button down below to let me know you are as excited as I am to see the Buccaneers play football tonight. Yes, I know it is not going to be the starters. We're not going to see Baker Mayfield or even Reuben Bain Jr., but there's still a lot of things to talk about with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's what we're going to be talking about on today's show. We're going to go through the top 5 things you should be looking out for. I'm looking out for these top 5 things. There's going to be a lot of stuff that is going to be going on during this game. And first of all, producer Mike right now is actually the host of our Jets channel, and we've been going back and forth all week just talking about how the energy of these practices and the amount of fights that we've had. I think we've had probably 7 or 8 fights at least now, but not even recorded, right? So it's like the energy is building in this game. So I'm very excited to see what happens. Is there going to be a fight tonight? I don't know, but we'll have to watch. All right, so what to look for? First thing I'm looking for is just the Bucs linebacker room, right? There are a lot of question marks when it comes to who's going to be the starter next to Alex Anzalone. Now, it is Sir Vocea Dennis on the unofficial depth chart right now, but this is an opportunity for Josiah Trotter to really show that he can be a starter in the NFL as a rookie. Now, the question is, can he cover? Can he show that the weaknesses coming out of the NFL draft where he can't really cover, he's more of a downhill type of guy who is basically, Sir Vocea Dennis. And I have not changed my linebacker depth chart. I want to see Josiah Trotter be the starter next to Alex Anzalone. So when it comes to Sir Vocea Dennis or Josiah Trotter, I really think it should be Josiah Trotter. But he's got a chance to prove himself and prove that he can cover and that he can be good next to Alex Anzalone. Now, the other guy that I want to look at is David Walker. He is showing up and showing out in practices. And he's had 9 straight practices with sacks, basically. So the fact that he's making plays and continues to make plays in training camp, we did not get to see him all last year. So if he continues to make making plays tonight, he's going to shoot up that depth chart and get a lot more playing time than we think he would in the beginning of the offseason. So I want to see if he can continue to make plays against not a real, but a different team, right? He was making plays during joint practice, but this is his time to shine. So I'm really going to be keeping my eye on David Walker. Now you got to keep your eye on America's #1 sports picks app. That is PrizePicks. Today's show is presented by PrizePicks. I've been using PrizePicks since 2022, so that should tell you that they got some good stuff going on over there. If you want a chance to win some money while watching your favorite sports, get started with our friends over at PrizePicks. The app is super simple to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. And today is Flex Friday. You're like, what is Flex Friday? That means if you put in a lineup like this, Flex Friday, actually, they gave me a protected play. So $15. If this does not go my way, I get my money back, which is absolutely awesome to know, right? Flex Friday. Connor Bazelak, the more on his passing touchdowns. That's actually a demon. So the multiplier goes up a little bit more because they don't think that he has a better chance to score a passing touchdown, right? So I'm taking the more on that. I think he gets one. And then Omar Cooper Jr., the rookie for the New York Jets. I'm going the less on his receiving yards. I don't think they're going to play him as much as I think they would. And then Ted Hurst, the more on his receiving yards. He's been making plays during training camp. I think he shows out tonight. So I've taken the more on his receiving yards at 24.5. So if you want to get started with PrizePicks and go in with Flex Friday today for tonight's game, go ahead and do so right now. Now, best of all, play your first $5 lineup. So you could do a $5 Flex Friday lineup. If you win that lineup, you get $150 in bonus lineups. If you win, just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right. PrizePicks just switched up their offer, so there's no better time to join than right now. Lock in and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at signup to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 or more lineup. PrizePicks, code HMA, download the app now. Now, something else I'm looking for in this game tonight is the offensive line depth, right? I don't know how many starters are going to play. Obviously, Tristan Wirf's still dealing with that injury. I think when it comes to who's going to be starting, I have no idea if we're going to see these top 5 guys tonight. But I think we're going to definitely see Billy Schrauth, Elijah Klein as well. Dan Feeney probably, Justin School, a veteran. I don't know if we'll see him, but there's a lot of guys that I am looking at to kind of feel a little bit better than we did last year when we got some injuries, right? I know the NFL, you can't just say no to injuries. It kind of just happens, right? So I want to feel a little bit more confident with our backups and our depth to, if we do get injuries, that it feels a little bit better throwing in a guy like Ben Chukuma or Dan Feeney, right? Now, talking about Ben Chukuma, he's been struggling a little bit in training camp. He's been struggling against the Jets' defensive line and in the one-on-ones and stuff like that. And then from before, even on August 3rd, back-to-back false starts with the Bucs offense as 11-11s on begin. Ben Chukuma gets pulled and replaced by Justin School as a result. So he hasn't been showing, as much confidence, for me at least, when it comes to our offensive line depth. So I want to see how that works, see if they can keep Connor Bazelak and Jalon Daniels a little bit protected. So that makes me feel a little bit better about if our top 5 guys go down or if someone in our starting lineup goes down, right? That's all I'm looking for when it comes to the offensive line depth. Now, turning to the defensive side of the ball again, I want to look at the secondary room, right? A lot of people in the comments are talking about, hey, we really need a veteran cornerback, right? Or a veteran depth, right? I want to see these guys continue to make plays. There's a lot of guys. Pepe Williams, there's Aiden Garnes, a lot of people. I mean, Rashad Wisdom as well, getting a pick against the Jets. Like, there's a lot of guys that have been making plays that I want to see continue making plays against this Jets defense. Now, or Jets offense, I'm sorry. With a better pass rush, the secondary can be better, right? Ruben Bain Jr., Yaya Diaby, Ashawn Robinson. There's a lot of guys that can help. Even Kalaja Kancey being healthy as well. Them getting to the quarterback and pressuring him will help that secondary immensely. So I just want to see them be able to make plays and just cover a little bit better than they did last year. So that's something I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on, because a guy that I mentioned before, Pepe Williams, Demarion Williams, I think he's going to earn that roster spot tonight because he has been making play after play after play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in training camp, especially against the Jets too. So when the Jets are running out their starters tonight, it's a great way to make an impact on a starting offense. Now, no offense, producer Mike, the Jets offense, not entirely the best in the NFL, but it is still going to be a great opportunity for this defense to get some real run and this secondary depth to get real run against a guy like Garrett Wilson or a guy like Amarian Cooper or A.D. Mitchell, like Amarian Cooper, Omar Cooper Jr. Like, this is a very, very good chance for guys to make plays, improve their roster spot, right? So that's what I'm going to be looking at for sure. Now, one of the main things I actually do want to look for in this game against the New York Jets, today's video presented by PrizePicks, the quarterbacks. Now, obviously we know Jake Browning had that lower leg injury. I'm actually not entirely sure what the injury is, but he came up limping against the Jets in that first joint practice this week. Looks like he's not going to start, right? I think it's going to be Connor Bazelak because Jake Browning, usually that we sign him in free agency, he's going to be that QB2. Connor Bazelak is going to be, according to Todd Bowles, that next guy up. So the two guys I'm eager to see tonight, Connor Bazelak and Jalon Daniels, because these are the two guys that are left on the roster, right? We don't keep a ton of quarterbacks on the roster. I think we'll only keep 2. I think we'll keep probably Jake Browning and then Baker Mayfield. But Connor Bazelak has usually been our practice squad guy. And then Jalon Daniels, though, I think he has a real shot at making this 53-man roster. If Jake Browning, that injury, the Jake Browning injury is not long-term, but like we might have a diamond in the rough because Zach Robinson on Jalon Daniels' arm, he said after practice one day, was one of the better ones he's been around. So is it a diamond in the rough type of deal with Jalon Daniels? Could he be beating out Connor Bazelak or even beating out Jake Browning for that QB2 spot? Now, you let me know. Pick a QB 3/2. I was going to change it to 2. This is like a QB 2/3. Like, who's going to be the guy? Is it going to be Jake Browning? Is it going to be Connor Bazelak? Or is it going to be Jalon Daniels? Type all their jersey numbers, who you're picking, in the comment section. You could be like, give me 5 for QB2, or give me 10 for QB2, or be like, Connor Bazelak is cut. Let me know down in the comment section. All right, the last thing we are going to be talking about and what I am looking for in this game is Ted Hurst III. He has been making a ton of plays during training camp and during the joint practices as well. Looks like we're getting what has been advertised, that big body receiver on the outside, the red zone threat, the fade ball type of guy, the Mike Evans replacement, right? Seems like he's been what we drafted, right? What we thought we were drafting. So when this wide receiver group has been dealing with a couple injuries, right? Emeka Egbuka got that injury the other day. A little bit scary, but I think he's going to be okay. I think it was just a toe sprain or something like that, which is going to be fine. Jalen McMillan has been dealing with that injury as well, and same thing with Tez Johnson. So, like, Ted Hurst has a chance to continue to make plays in a preseason game, his first NFL game. And if he could be that big body receiver and that target for Baker Mayfield, especially in the red zone, this wide receiver room gets a lot scarier. I've said it before, the NFL media is kind of writing off the Buccaneers wide receiver group because you lose a legend and a Hall of Famer like Mike Evans, but I don't think they know how good this wide receiver group can be and the talent that we have in this room. So I'm very, very eager to see what Ted Hurst can do and basically put the NFL on notice. All right, I want to know, what are you looking for tonight against the New York Jets? Are you looking at players specifically? Are you looking at maybe Zach Robinson's offense, how that can improve, or maybe it could be better than last year? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. That is all I have for you on today's show. We got Bucs football tonight. So lock in, get your beer if you're 21 or older, or if you're not drinking, get your drink of choice, get your food, and watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the New York Jets. Thank you so much for watching to the end of today's show. You guys are real ones. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for all the updates on the Buccaneers. I'm going to have a video. I'll probably have a short after the game talking about what I saw and my takeaways. So make sure you hit the subscribe button for all of that. And as always, fire the cannons.